Hey guys, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This time it's going to be of the brand new Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts One Piece Romance Dawn version of Nami. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for not only blowing up this week's Yusuke review, but last month's Luffy review. I was very surprised how much you guys blew it up, so I really appreciate that. Second, there was a time where I really didn't think we were going to get her in this revived One Piece line. It just seems like with this line as well as other S.H. Figuarts lines that they are a little reluctant to make female figures. They've been a little bit better about that for the past year or two. But we finally have her. I can't wait for the Romance Dawn Zoro, as well as hopefully we get Sanji and Usopp, especially Usopp. I really would love an Usopp figure. This looks fantastic, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop rambling, taking a look at the packaging here. Very standard with the One Piece line, which it's usually a very good packaging style. Top left there, it does say One Piece figure in the box with some of the contents there. On the right side, you see some of the images of the actual figure, as well as where it says S.H. Figuarts, Nami Romance Dawn. You also have pretty much all the logos here, including Tamashii Nations, the Toei logo, Bandai, as well as that quality sticker. And it does say Made in China. On this side, well, first of all, the whole packaging, just like with a lot of the other One Piece characters, is like this map, which is really nice. On this side, though, it says S.H. Figuarts. Excuse me, I didn't say that right. Nami, Romance Dawn. Also have an image of her right there. Is that... I don't know if that's specifically like an Arlong type of face where she's fighting, or if that is just a face she usually makes them fighting. It's been a while since I've caught up. I'm still pretty behind on the show. You do see a bunch of other facial expressions going on here, looking really sick and clean. That really funny one, it does show off the alternate Luffy face, as well as where it says Nami Romance Dawn. Now on the top of the box, it's just, you know, that map, and then it's just a read up of what S.H. Figuarts is right there. But also, if I can focus up here, that is also a shape of the straw hat right there. On the bottom, just another image of Nami, and again, all that wording we've had already. On the back here, you do see a bunch of other accessories and posing shots going on there, as well as where it says Super Action, Super Molly, and all that. Ages 15 and up. I don't have any translation stickers with Bluefin because I imported this from Hobby Genki, so you can see all that right there. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. And here is the figure out of the packaging. I might need a little bit more time to mess around with this and form a better opinion, but right now it is absolutely fantastic. I'm really digging this. It's 3 for 3 when it comes to the more recent S.H. Figuarts figures I've been buying recently. If anyone at Bandai is watching, please keep this up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a closer look at the figure. First thing I want to talk about are the face plates. We have really nice ones going on here. I should probably mention this because I don't really show it off often, but interchanging the faces is pretty simplistic. You see these little pegs coming in on the inside of the face. Pretty much just pull off the hair piece and the face straight forward, and then you'll just put on the faceplate, aligning it in the proper, peg hole sections. Now, these are a little bit of smaller peg holes, so getting them in there is a little bit tricky sometimes, but once you get it down the first time, you should be fine with getting it on there. And everything is really secure once you do get the hair pieces back onto whichever face you want to have on. This is the, closed eyes and smiling expression, which looks fantastic. I maybe just turn this down a little bit. Really like the paint separation going on in the mouth. Whenever anything like this with paint separation happens with an open mouth, they usually do a really good job. This is not a very large surface area to get down, so it could be a little splotch if they didn't get it right, and it looks great. Very nice closed eyes with the eyelashes there, and the eyebrows look great. Ears, nothing really crazy there, but I don't really care that much. And that's how the nose looks. I mean, that's also pretty good as well. Then we also have this angrier expression, which is actually a nice intense expression. You can even see the wrinkles that they painted under the eyes right there, how the eyebrows look, and like the way that her pupils looks fantastic. I do think the horizontal line separating the teeth could be a little bit more prominent, but that is really not a big complaint at all. Again, very awesome looking. Then we get this nice winking and tongue sticking out expression that I'm really digging a lot. I'm wondering if there's a scuff underneath there. I think that might just be dirt. It looks like the eye is looking off to the right just a little bit, or maybe that's just me being stupid and it's looking straight forward. But either way, like the printing in the eye and the pupils there, looking great. The tongue is a separate piece, as you see right there, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, very awesome faceplate. Last of Nami's faceplate. This is hilarious. This hilarious angry expression with the jagged teeth. Very large mouth going on the inside of the mouth. And you do have those blank pupils with a lot of wrinkles actually painted very clean around the inside or like underneath the eyes and in between the eyes as well with those nice lines. You have a little bit of that sweat mark going there. We also have this faceplate that comes, or it's going to be for the Romance Dawn Luffy. Now, I thought that this looked a little too matte at first because Nami's like skin tone is a bit more matte here, whereas Luffy's is a little bit more of a semi-gloss. But if you see in this image, it does look like the faceplate is pretty consistent with the rest of Luffy's skin tone, which is nice to see. Okay, now for hands. We have these gripping hands here, which all these hands are done in a similar fashion. They're not, super duper detailed, which is fine because they're just hands. They need to be detailed enough to where maybe you can see fingernails, which, again, I mean, these are pretty small fingers. So if they if they don't capture the fingernails all that well, then, I mean, that's fine. These are a little bit more of like a matte finish, like I was talking about a second ago, but these are gripping hands meant for holding her staff, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Then we have these more sprawled out finger hands, which could be relaxed hands, or they could be different types of posing hands. Again, like, I might be a little bright, but I can't really see the fingernails, which that's fine. They look pointed to where she does have fingernails. Not much going on the inside of the palms or on the back of the hands when it comes to detailing, but again, that's just kind of how it is. We also have this pointer finger right here. Let's turn up a little bit. That's pretty nice. We've been getting a lot of pointer finger characters this year, I just realized. Might be a little bit of excess plastic I have to get off soon, but yeah, that the way that they curled the hands into the palm, really nice. Last but not least for hands, we have these clasped together type of hands, which I really like when they do the hands sculpted together. This is a really nice touch. Yeah, these look really fantastic here. Then we have the actual staff. It's just in this brown plastic. I think there is paint. I mean, it feels like there is paint on this, where it's just one base coat of paint. That is an interesting, I guess, nub mark, if that even is that, going on there. Yeah, but this still looks nice. I wouldn't entirely pose her with this all the time because even if this is only sculpted in brown, it could maybe rub off on the skin tone hands, for the the gripping hands. So just be wary of that if you want to think about posing her permanently with this. But this is a really nice plastic. I mean, it's a little bit soft, but by no means is it bendy at all. And you definitely can snap this if you're not careful. But not much else going on here. It's just, I mean, there's not much wood detail. What does have wood detail is this nice chest. I'm really digging this. We have this nice gold outer lining throughout the whole piece here. It's different sections. There's a little bit of chipping right here and right here as well. But the keyhole, that looks really fantastic. I mean, you can see the wood there, so that's a little, maybe it should have been blacked out. But, I mean, like the actual wood detailing is really nice. This nice dark brown paint going on. And again, look on the back here with all that gold paint. Looking great. We do have whatever this little copyright is, but you can maybe rub that out with acetone or, less dangerous methods. Opening it up, though, it has an open function. And then we do have a bunch of gold here. A lot of these coins. They're berries, right? It's been a while since I watched the show. I apologize if I sound like a tourist. But we do have these gold bars and this nice crown piece, even like this band right there. All this looks fantastic. The gold metallic paint on here is really nice. A darker metallic compared to, and even shinier compared to what's going on here. But this does not pop out, I'm pretty sure. So if you wanted to do like a free run mimic chest, if you have your S.H. Figuarts free run, which I still need to get one, I don't believe this pops out. But this is still a really nice addition. Let's talk about the normal faceplate that she comes with. I really dig this expression. Both eyes looking really nice. The pupils in here look really fantastic. I'm going to have to get a little closer for that. The nice, slightly brownish orange-ish color going on there with the black too. And then that white for the light shining through. The eyebrows get a little bit covered up by that hair piece, which is fine. Eyelashes, the separation of the paint, again, similar to the closed eyes expression, which is a little bit hard for me to say for some reason. The separation of the paint in the mouth is fantastic. What I really like, I think it is captured more, I think it actually is pretty well captured in camera. Darker orange going on around the ends of her hair, and then it gets much lighter going towards the roots, as you see there. That is what this full section looks like. We have shorter hair, which I believe she's always had short hair. So that helps with articulation, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We do have these soft plastic pieces here. Does not feel like that this pops off that easily. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. So sometimes when you move this back, the faces might pop off. But I'm pushing this back, and yeah, that's not too bad. Not really anything going on in the neck, which that's fine. It's a neck. It just needs to look like a neck. Doesn't need to be super detailed or anything. I need to check. I think there is, yeah, I can feel with my fingernail separations of sculpted plastic where you have the blue meeting the white there. And that blue is really nicely painted. Now, this seam line does kind of break that up a little bit. And on this side too, but that's really not too noticeable. You might be able to fix that if you have this same type of paint and just get in there ever so slightly. But I mean, it's really not a big deal for me. All continue on their back here. Very nice white shirt going on. Also, separation of the skin tone here with the blue. Again, it looked really clean. No splotching I've noticed at all on the particular figure here. Just a little bit on the chest, the treasure chest, of course. And this white plastic here may scuff. It's just molded in white plastic. You know, if you're not too careful, some things might rub on it. But that, I mean, all that looks really fantastic. There's not much going on in terms of that much sculpting, but like if you look a little bit of the wrinkling going on the sleeve there, that looks great. And again, we do have separation of the sculpt wherever there's blue with white. So I dig that. And let's check again around the stomach. Yeah, that works. I think on the back here. No, a little bit, but it definitely is more of just painted in blue here, but not really any sculpt work going on. What does have sculpt work on this stomach here, or on the back, I should say, this cut here, I forget what other, I think Makima might have had this. This cut right here allows for, I mean, we talk about articulation in its own section, but I think that is to make that move while making that look a little bit more natural. And when you bend this back, it does look kind of natural. You do kind of get this gap right there. When you push it forward again, you get a little bit of a gap going on there, but you do have this white separate piece of plastic going on in here to kind of, and I use that loosely because it really doesn't hide that much, but kind of hide that gappage. It's fine. It's really not a big deal at all. I really like how the actual arms look like they're going into the shirt, which is kind of a no duh, I guess, for some characters. But I don't know. I just think that they did that really nice, and they still incorporated the articulation really nicely. One thing I will mention, that when it comes to the engineering, and I understand she has skinnier proportions in the arms, so it's a little bit harder to capture this, but the elbows do look a little too choppy when it comes to whatever articulation lines are there. Again, that is the way that they have to get the articulation in there, and I'm not going to complain too much about it. It just is a little bit distracting, but really not too much. Then we have the fists here. Thumb is sticking out a little bit, but I mean, that's whatever. It's just something to mention, not really a critique or anything. The fists look fine. There's nothing really crazy going on with the actual fists. Still looks really good. Again, pretty nice wrinkling going on towards the bottom of the shirt section right there. And again, separation of blue and white is sculpted. I think if I looked hard enough, I think a little bit of the white this is sculpted in. I think the blue is mismatched a little bit. It's really not going to matter. If it was like a big wavy line, that'd be one thing, but it's still nicely rounded off, so that's fine. And I do think the separation of how they did the skirt section with this overlapping is a little distracting too, but again, I don't know. It sounds like I'm kind of making excuses, but it really isn't that distracting, and I really don't mind it that much considering what they needed to get done for the articulation. So they had to balance, making this look natural with articulation because of the S.H. Figuarts line. Because of that, I totally accept it for what it is. And we do have really nice, white and red circles going on in there. I think the red is bleeding onto white just a little bit on this side. Nothing on this side. That looks great. A little bit of wrinkling on the front here for this pants and skirt section. Nothing really going on the back here. I didn't really mention this, but it's again, nice matte finish on the arms here. Nice and smooth. Nothing really going on there. But we also have smooth legs with a little bit. It looks a little glossy probably because of the light, but it is mostly like a matte finish. At least I feel like on these skin tone sections, which is pretty cool. The knees do stick out a little bit as like discs. That's fine. We also have how these are actual separate sections too. Again, sometimes I think I'm used to Marvel Legends sometimes being like all one exact sculpt, and then they paint the boot line. The whole thing sculpted here, which of course Tamashii Nations was going to put forth the effort for that. Yeah, that looks great with nice wrinkles around the like ankle sections going on there, basically the shins. And then the top of the feet there, nice dark brown all throughout. Again, wrinkles there, wrinkles on top of the boots. And then that's what the bottom of the feet look like. A little bit of this separate sculpted section, whatever this is for right there. But not much on the detailing of the bottom, that's fine. A little bit of this, like, I guess, nub mark again on the back here. It's very apparent here, but like this thing is really nicely sculpted. And, you know, the way that Oda has particular proportions for characters, it looks very accurate in terms of her proportions to how she's supposed to look in this particular arc. Now, I don't usually take the faces off for the articulation, but I want to show this off real quick, where this head system is kind of more like a 2.0 Goku, whereas with Yusuke and Luffy, they were more like dumbbell joints. You do have this hinge right here with like almost like just a thick peg going into the head. I guess a ball joint going into the neck, and then an actual ball joint at the neck where it meets with the body. Popping all that back on, you get this back range of motion, which I feel like could be better. Going forward, it does. If you pushed it down a little too much, it will, you know, pop the face off. But it goes down really far, although this neck does want to pop off a little too easily there. But it is very secure still. Pretty nice, just all over range of motion. You can do all this nice range of motion with swiveling side to side. The only thing is the head going up is just a little hindered. A little bit of some ball joints going on here, which could break up the sculpt a little bit. That's kind of a no-duh situation because of how it needs to be engineered. But it goes all the way around right here. Kind of getting that a little mixed up somehow. Kind of goes in and out like that, like a little bit down. But you go all the way out here, and that looks really nice. You can swivel it right here, but you have an actual swivel also where the skin meets the shirt going on there. Double joint elbow is really nice. Standard wrist articulation where it can go in and out, or you can manipulate it to go up and down. Ball joint waist I was talking about earlier, where actually this is the separate ball joint going on here. So it swivels, goes up and down really nice. And then the extra stuff going on in the stomach here, which I feel like the top is doing a lot more work, or maybe actually this also is. But this looks like it's kind of coming on. I actually don't know what's going on there, but it still feels rather secure actually, even though something looked like it was coming on down. I don't think anything is. Side to side like this, rotation, all just really great range of motion going on here, like very surprising. We do have legs that can kick. These kind of get in the way, but they do kick out on an actual T-joint where it goes forward and back, and then splits are almost perfect. But then you also have this separate section right there for an upper thigh swivel. Single joint knee, when you bend that, you do kind of get a little bit of a disc look there, and yeah, that could be better. I don't think they're, I mean, I think these are separate, but they don't really swivel here, but they definitely swivel here at the foot, up and down, so that's down and up motion. Ankle rocker could be a little bit better, maybe it's just a little hindered in some areas, but then we do have toe hinge. Measuring out the figure, we're looking at around 14.5 centimeters to the top of the head, so that's actually going to put this a little bit over 5.5 inches tall. As you can see with Romance on Luffy, she's going to be a little bit shorter. Somebody asked me in the Yusuke review if they could see what Goku looks like with Yusuke, so I just brought both of them out just to show you. You know, Goku has pretty tall hair, so it's going to look a little bit taller, but only both of them are just slightly taller than Nami, and then I switched it up a little bit with a normal Marvel Legends size comparison with this year's Scarlet Spider, which is much taller. Overall, I am super pleased with this figure. I think that Tamashii Nations did an absolutely great job, and I make a big deal about these past few figures being really awesome in this line because this time around last year, a lot of S.H. Figuarts really weren't up to par, when it, at least the ones I was getting, were up to par with the quality, but this is a really top-notch quality figure. I think a lot of One Piece fans are going to be very happy with it. They capture pretty much every detail that you need for Nami, at least early Nami, here just really well with the paint and sculpt and the overall proportions of, you know, Oda's style looking really fantastic. Same thing for all the accessories, like all of the accessories with the faceplate and the hands, you know, look really fantastic. And that treasure chest and the staff as well. And it's really cool that we do get, you know, an extra face for Luffy, which they do that a lot with this line. The articulation is deceptively good because it seems like the stomach and head shouldn't be that good. I mean, the head going up isn't that great, but the rest of the motion in the torso and the head is really fantastic. I do think that the engineering in the elbows and knees is a little wonky looking, but I think they did the best that they could to make that look as natural as possible, and I really don't mind that. She keeps a pose pretty well as long as you have a stable surface, of course, but her feet seem a little small, but she can really keep a pose nicely. This is just such a great figure, and I cannot wait for Zoro and other, hopefully, Romance Dawn figures we'll be getting in the future. Got mine here from Hobby Genki. Have no idea if they're in stock, but I'll leave links in the description below in case anything is in stock. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.